Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave. But the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave. But the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
Introduce everybody else, my behind. First off, introductions, Baron J67.
You're evil.
Baron J67. He said introduce him first.
You know he can't hear you because he had his Aviga on, his headset, and it's wired.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment from LV1Gaming.com. And congratulations, you guys leveled up. This is the Level 1 Gaming Podcast. Listen. We are fresh off of our 6 hour and 40-minute stream from Saturday. And I would be lying if I told you that we weren't still a little bit exhausted from that. Like, I'll never be in the camp of the people who say, oh, streaming is harder than a 9-to-5 job. I'll never say that. However, for those of us who do work 9 to 5 and still stream, and just like this, I still talk.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we're gonna get into the show, right? But I feel like from Saturday and then the work we put in Sunday, and now these, this other stuff that we're doing now, because yay, we gotta, we're judges for an amazing indie show now. It's a lot of work that like never really stops. So that's why you guys see on the screen, if you want to support us, we do have 2 goals on the screen. We're looking for 10 new subscribers and 2 new members. That's our goal for today's show before we really jump into the topics and the introduction. So if you'd like to support Level 1 Gaming, level1gaming.com, consider becoming a channel member. We're trying to get at least 2 new channel members tonight and 10 new subscribers. If you want to do a free 99 route, that like button, man, it's free. Like love, it don't cost a thing. But it do help support some folks that's trying to make some moves in this industry that, we're blessed now. We starting to make a little bit of moves, so we feel great about what we're doing. And that happens because of you guys who rock with this show, who rock with this channel, who rock with level1gaming.com. Now, for real introductions this time, even though I introduced Baron when he told us not to, I did it on purpose. The real introduction is my right hand, man, the Flahugger with the hardest of R's. What's going on, Hugs?
What's going on, y'all? I'm out here looking like bananas in pajamas, head ass. So I'm just out here enjoying the night with my family. We're gonna talk some good stuff. And I just want to tell each and every one of y'all, I love y'all. Thank you for rocking with me playing Stalker 2 earlier, and we're gonna play more of it. I love you guys. Amazing people.
Next up, if your emails is popping and your DMs is full, that's because communication director Level 1 Gamer try to get hold of you, baby. Banjo67, what's going on, Chief?
You know what, man? I am doing pretty damn good. It's insane how much gaming there is. Like for this to be a year, I thought that was going to be a dead year, and I talked about this during the showcase. I thought it was going to be a dead year, or a slow year, because we, came off the residual of the pandemic and all that other stuff, and all the big games being released. Like, I thought this was going to be a slow year. Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. This is a year. This is gaming. We got Black Ops 2 level Call of Duty. Stalker 2 got the best face paint. I'm going to tell you this. What folks need to understand when it comes to Stalker 2. All I wanted was a facelift of Call of Pripyat. That's all I wanted. I got that and more. I got murdered. I think I died like 5 or 6 times in the first hour of the game. Beautiful. I got cut by barbed wire because I walked too close to a barbed wire fence. Got cut, activated the bleed mechanic, and had to wrap a bandage around myself in order to stop the bleeding. Didn't take much damage, but the bleeding was there. Oh, my gun broke mid-fight. I had to hide behind a tree and pop pistols.
That pissed me off.
You just traumatized Fame.
Oh,
that pissed me off. Weapon degradation. I'm out.
But it fits the game type.
It fits the game. No, it fits the game. It is the world. But real quick, before I rant any longer, I want to just say special thank you to the people who help keep the lights on. It's a shout out to all of our members in Patreon. So I'm gonna go down the list real fast. Arcade 4247, which we need to talk with him because we need to find out whether or not he wants the 3.5. OG game.
The member headset raffle gotta happen too. I'm waiting for their headset to come in, and then we can raffle theirs off.
And we're gonna figure that out. And then and the sale is still going on, except now it's 15% off, and it's going on until the 23rd. And that is code Celebrate. Links in the chat. But OG Gamesta Mac. Oh, that's actually a dope ass name. Natalie, Mershot, Black John, Jax, Geek Life Mike, Texas Lean, No Pardon, Slight Crow, Swaggy C, Dallas, Slow Mo, Xbox Expansion Pass, Blaine, J Rod, J Rembert, Nisa, Jay, Tao Zochi, Don Otaku, The Lord Metroid, Strolly, Johnny Man, and Miss L. You guys, seriously, all of this means the world to us. It just helps keeps the light on. And Fame hit the super chat we just got.
Shout out to Geek Life Mike. That's one half of them back. I'm about to say backyard.
Backyardigans.
Barbarian boys. Ha! You almost got me. He said, here to sprinkle some Team Blue goodness on the podcast. Just kidding. Have a good show. Gang. Hashtag backlog barbarians. Our newest show that airs on every other Sunday.
Every other Sunday.
Boys, we talking games. They ain't talking about console. They ain't talking about acquisitions. They ain't talking about games in 2026. They're talking about games that's out now and games that's in your backlog that you should have been completing.
And we'll be back on December 1st, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I'm going to say, do you play games? Are you a games collector? Speaking to your point really fast, Sith Scott in the chat, he said it hasn't been a dry moment yet.
Man.
With JRPGs. He said JRPG fans been eating.
It's wild. This has been a hell of a year. A hell of a year. And it's not even done yet. That's the crazy part.
We don't have slow years anymore, though. There's so much variety of gaming now that, like, last year, if you loved indies, Cult of the Lamb, oh, you ate. Or was that 2 years ago?
That might have been, I don't know, what is time? What is time? What is time?
I don't know anything anymore.
Last but definitely not least, founder of Dames for Games. I mean, she ain't on camera tonight, but y'all know she alive somewhere. Dez, what's going on, sis?
I'm alive here.
Barely awake.
Barely
awake. It is 12 a.m. But I'm here.
She's had a long day of eating nothing but beans on toast, and she's exhausted, but she decided to still come podcast with us. Listen, we're gonna jump right into it again. If you guys do us a big favor, if you have not already, please share out the stream. It helps out a whole bunch. That's free 99. Hit the like button, which is also free 99. Consider becoming a channel member and subscribe. Which we want to hit our goals on stream today if we can. If not, it's they all love, but we'll love to hit our goals today. I want to jump right into a topic I didn't think we would be talking about today. It was a last addition to the podcast topic, and that is the PlayStation Portal. Mm-hmm. If you don't know me, I love to pawn, shop, hop. Just to see what goodies I can find on the low. And so I went to the pawn shop and I unexpectedly saw a PlayStation Portal. And I said, oh. And
did you get it?
Should I buy this? And then I said, hell no, I'm not buying this. It ain't worth it.
It's a long time in
Come to find out, there is a new update that is about to get pushed to the PlayStation Portal that will make it more feasible or more likable or more wanted by people like me who didn't want it because, hey, it only connects to your PS5, right? So this new update is turning the PlayStation Portal into an actual streaming device, right? So you don't need your PlayStation 5 to be able, or you don't need to have a PlayStation 5 with this new update to actually be able to use the Portal. I think this is a good move on Sony, something they should have done from the very beginning. I think one of the biggest issues that Sony had with the PlayStation Portal and the PSVR 2 is that they initially tied it to having a PS5. That was a bad mistake, right? The PSVR 2 should have came out and it should have been automatic. It should have been able to use on a PC. The Portal, you should have been able to stream games at bare minimum. So with this new update that's coming out, you can finally be able to stream games on the PlayStation Portal. However, because there's a but, there's always a but. Sometimes they stink and sometimes they don't. But there's a but. You have to be a PlayStation Premium subscriber, right? And as I'm like about to stall, because I was supposed to have PlayStation Premium pricing up, and I didn't. PlayStation Premium pricing is $18 a month. I don't know how much that is a year. So plan start at 10, extra is 15, premium is 18. So if you pay $18 a month for the premium PlayStation online experience, your PlayStation Portal can now stream those library of games. B, I'm gonna start with you as our handheld connoisseur. You got the ROG Ally, you got the
G Cloud, Logitech G Cloud.
Does this make the PlayStation Portable more interesting to you?
Oh, 1,000%. It really, really does. Like let's say I did not have the G Cloud, but I had the ROG Ally, I would now start looking at the portal. Especially, with the first update, I assume there's going to be some bugs. I assume there may be a limit on. I didn't look too deep into the weeds. I don't know if there's a limit on which games are going to be available. Like, I don't know the exacts, but just on the surface, this sounds amazing. Adding more value to it, because I really didn't see the value in it for me, but that's only because I already had other devices that do this and more. So, hey man, more power to them. I think this is super cool, and maybe they're gonna lean further into it. Maybe it'll be in the future, it'll turn into a thing similar to what Xbox just announced, where you'll be able to play you'll play the games you own digitally on your device natively.
And I think
Like, I think that's the future.
That's the real game changer there. I know shout out to Sid Scott. He said taking that $500 PlayStation tag away is huge, right? But the big play here is, hey, do I have access to my PlayStation library? PS4, PS5. That's the real game changer, because that would have them keep up with what Xbox is likely to do.
Well, they announced it recently,
Yeah, I think that's dope. Des, I'll switch over to you. You got any interest in the PlayStation Portal with this newest update?
I was looking for something new to not use, so maybe.
Ma'am.
Does it do anything for you now that it's not tied to a PlayStation?
No, and honestly, like, I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask because I still don't have my PlayStation 5 even hooked up yet. So I haven't
It's
really
still in the
been.
box.
It's still in the box. Ba,
Oh,
ba,
yeah.
ba, ba.
Hey,
Oh,
it wouldn't be a
my
level 1 show
personal
without
jingle.
something like this.
Facts.
They love us because we beautiful. Yep, we good.
It's
Heyo.
good to be back.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Okay.
You can do it.
Let me see. I'm gonna start streaming
Can I
now.
ask a question?
Oh, my bad. Oh, they can hear us. Oh, then we good.
Yeah,
So
Hey,
I didn't
y'all.
understand what was going on. My bad.
because you
Oh,
were
no what?
dancing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
my bad. I wasn't paying attention. I got hyped. I
No, it's
said what
okay.
I said.
I have a
Hey,
weird question. I know you're about to
y'all.
host some stuff, but I was just looking at, like, I know I'm late on this, but the nominations, right, for Game of the Year or
Well,
whatever.
hold on.
I
PS
don't know if we're
Portal.
going to talk
Oh,
about
wait a
this or
minute.
not.
Before we switch topics, can we finish the PS Portal?
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
going to the Game Awards, and I think my audio is backing in now, so we should be good. Let's say fan mute. You guys should be able to hear me now. Sorry, we had to do a little switcheroo.
You're back.
We were talking the PlayStation Portal, and I had switched over to Hugs, right? And I wanted to get her thoughts because if you're just joining in, PlayStation Portal is about to have an update to where you no longer need a PlayStation 5. All you need is a PlayStation Premium subscription. We went around the room. For me, it's closer to what I want. Dez was like, it don't make no difference to me. B was like, man, it's kind of what he does. Hugs, I want to ask you, does the PlayStation Portal no longer needing a PS5 but needing that PlayStation Premium subscription to be able to stream games, does it make it more wanted of a product for you?
I'll be honest. No, because I'm not a super fan of handhelds personally. I really only play my Switch for Animal Crossing. So if you're a fan of handhelds, this is gonna be absolutely you're gonna want to pick this up. But if you're not, like Des and me, it's like, okay, yeah, it is what it is. And plus, we have the not to put my hair behind my ear. Most of the games are swiftly going to start coming to PC quicker and quicker with PlayStation, so I'm not super concerned.
Shout out to Jay Ramber with the follow super chat. He just dropped a code in the chat for a Game Pass Ultimate so that you guys can go and play Stalker 2. That's love. That's community right there. Shout out to Jay, man, who came through in the chat, dropping Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for somebody to go and play Stalker 2. If you redeem that code, do me a favor. Let us know you redeemed it. And go follow my man Jay on Twitter, man. Go tell my man thank you. Or do
I just redeemed it. No, I'm kidding. I didn't.
You know what? I'll give the same energy that I give Xbox. Damn. I'll give the same energy I give Xbox. This is a smart move because make your stuff more accessible. And what are they doing? What do we always like the Fire Stick? This is making it accessible. I'm keeping the energy. I'm gonna praise them both. When they fail, I'm gonna smart.
That we have to pay $18 a month for it, though. I'm really tired of subscriptions. Just let me download the games I want to play and let me play them.
I know, but
it is a choice.
But that's not how. That's not how this economy
works. Make money. I know. We're all dying slowly.
But at least we're dying with cute games.
Yeah. That part. I said fart. I'm tired, guys. It's like 12 a.m. That part.
So listen, I might go back and get that PlayStation Portal. I ain't gonna hold you. Maybe. I would. Maybe. Because again, y'all know me, I'm gonna get it and probably not use it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, my P5 hasn't been turned on like 3 months.
No, are you pulling a Destiny right now? Because did you say you might get it and not use it? But that's what you said.
Sometimes I wonder.
We got on camera.
That's what he said
about myself.
That's what you said.
My wife,
you never
my wife be asking me like, "Do you want to actually play this or do you want to collect it?"
You sound like
you need to be on the backlog barbarian, sir.
Because listen, I buy games I know for a fact I'm never gonna play.
Oh yeah, same. I bought Life is Strange and then watched somebody else play the whole thing. I don't know why I did that.
But it's not like new
I was
stuff.
supporting the devs.
Because you're supporting with your dollar.
Oh
yeah, support the devs.
Are we not streaming no more?
Did you mess up?
We should be.
No, I think we're live.
No.
Are we not?
We're not.
What you mean?
Are we live?
Yeah, it says we're live.
Bro, we have so many issues.
No, you keep looking at the preview, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at it.
Stop. Don't look at the preview. That's not going to match the quality. Stop. If it says live and the clock is ticking, we're good.
Okay, we good. My
bad. Yeah.
My bad, G.
I already know where you at. Oh, it don't look good. Oh, I already.
You brought out the
No, we
what is that? The squirt gun when cats do things that they're not supposed to do.
Sith Scott said he got the code. Shout out to you, man. Much love to Jay with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate code. Sith Scott, who was in the podcast from the very beginning. He got Drake Williams. Yes, we are. In the great words of Jack Moo Johnny, we are live, bruh. For a second, the two of you on video, and the video had cut out, but it came back. Oh, so that was issues. I'm not crazy. First day back,
and we would.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. We was not going to have a show today. And I think all of this happening is just kind of like, hey, y'all wasn't prepared. You unprofessional. Do better.
Girl, we always professional. Stop it.
Yeah, I stay ready.
Man, I stay professional. I don't know who you're talking about.
Who are you talking about? I earned my shirt for this.
Thank you. Pay me.
Fame, we always professional. We don't get the choice to not be.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck my meat.
Wait, what?
What?
You've never seen
Amen? What?
Literally, you've never seen that. Took my meat. You've never seen that skit.
Do what now?
Beg your pardon?
Oh my god, I can't do this. I'm too tired to fuck with y'all.
Did she say check her what?
I said cook. I'm so upset
cook.
that y'all act like y'all don't understand the words coming out of my mouth right now.
We don't, because I heard take my meat.
I heard check my meat.
I heard cook my meat.
Oh, you said cook my meat? Oh, I heard take my meat. I was like,
no.
Wow. That's why I was like, beg your pardon. No, I know. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Bro.
I would never
Can somebody
say that.
clip that? Can somebody please clip that?
Bro, I was like,
watch me be famous for the wrong thing.
I was like, Des is tired. She said,
I was like, oh,
no.
Lord. She said,
it's from a skit on Saturday Night Live.
Needs y'all to open your ears.
I got speaking of ears, I got the Aviga headset from Avid. It's currently, if you go and use code CELEBRATE on the link that I'm gonna drop right here in the chat, you actually can get 15% off and free shipping until November 23rd. And then we'll have something else special for you guys, but please feel free to use that link, get 15% off plus free shipping. And the headset's only $60, wired, good quality. And yeah, and you can definitely hear about people's meat.
With that being said, let's talk about Game of the Year, right? Because we did finally get the Game of the Year nominees, right? And there's a bunch of stuff in there, best direction, all this. But let's be honest here. The one people care about the most is Game of the Year. Not saying the other awards don't matter, because they do. But when people talk about the Game Awards, the anticipation of the Game Awards, everyone's topic of discussion is Game of the Year. So, if you've been sleeping under a rock, Astrobot. How do you pronounce this game? Is it Balatro?
Balatro, yeah.
Balatro.
Balatero.
Balatero. No, it's
no.
not.
I'm just
Balatro. I messed up and called it Balatero. I was like, oh, Balatero, and it was like, no, Balatro. And I was like,
Balatero sounds better. I'm not gonna lie.
Extra letters in there. It's Balatro.
It's Balatro.
That's the card game.
Don't confuse our mans.
Black Myth Wukong. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor Refantasio, and the most controversial game in this bunch, Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree, a DLC of the game that won Game of the Year 2022. Right? This sparked some controversy. Number one, the moment that people realized that they were going to allow remakes and DLCs into Game of the Year category, everyone instantly knew that was to make sure Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree was part of the mix, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be the first game that wins Game of the Year twice. I have no doubt in my mind that Elden Ring will be the first game ever to win Game of the Year twice, which is why I must stand 10 toes down while I still have all 10 and let you know, remakes, remasters, DLCs do not belong in the category for Game of the Year. You had your time, buddy. You had your time. And I think there are so many other games that should have been getting its recognition or time in the sun. Now, again, I speak for myself and only myself, and I always reserve the right to be wrong. But in my most humble opinion, Elden Ring should not be here. Neither should Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yes, I said what I said. B, I'm going to start with
Can I ask a question?
Oh.
Can I ask a question? Why are you so racist against remakes? Like, why they got remakes are catching strays now because of the DLC? That's what it feels like. That's a separate conversation for a separate topic.
The key word you said is now. I've been saying this since I've been doing this podcast. I never wanted remakes. Remakes shouldn't be in this category ever. This isn't a new thing for me. The DLC thing is new because it really shouldn't be there. But the remake
DLC, I understand.
But this is that it's impossible for me to fully explain my opinion on what I think should and shouldn't be there, because in my opinion, it just we should be making way for the new the new kids on the block, like other if The Last of Us gets another remake, does that mean it gets to now go back in the game of the category because the year it gets to a point where it's going to get ridiculous.
Funny enough, I'm shocked we didn't see The Last of Us anywhere in this. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all, because it's a new SKU, new title. I'm shocked we didn't see Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm shocked we didn't see I'm shocked we didn't see these things. I was fully ready to catch at least one or two of these games in this thing. But for me, I have an issue with DLC because the floodgates were already opened. I was one of the people who argued heavy against Resident Evil 4 remake, even though after I played it, my mind kind of changed because but I feel like I'm a different case for I didn't play it the first time when it first came out. So for me, it was a fresh new experience. But at the same time, if your game has all the exact same story beats, all the exact same set pieces, but it just plays different, is that
would you
that's so reductive, but
that's the same? Okay, but would you say for people who have played Final Fantasy VII, the first game, which came out when I was in high school, would you say the remake is the same?
That's the only remake. That remake makes 1,000%. No, I'm gonna tell you, that remake makes sense to me. I don't have as much of an issue with that being made. Just like if they remade Final Fantasy VIII right now, I would have no argument with any awards it gets brought up.
It opens up a can of worms, in my opinion.
But the can of worms,
it's different. If you played the original Resident Evil 4, your mind would still have changed. If you tried to go back and play Resident Evil 4 after the remake, you would wholeheartedly understand.
No, and I got you. But just like I had an issue with Dead Space remake, just like I had, because you're not rolling the dice. And then think about all the games that get left out. Let's list all the games that could have been there before Shadow. We'll use Shadow of the Erdtree because that's what we're talking about. You got Rise of the Ronin, Helldivers 2. You have Call of Duty. You have it's so many games that did something dramatically different while also having a different title, different characters, different story, different, new, even if built on the same mechanics, but yet they got passed up by the DLC for the game that won Game of the Year 2 years ago.
Should a brand new game be what constitutes for what makes a game of the year?
I think a full game.
It's a slippery slope. I mean, with DLC,
the slippery slope is what we're dealing with now.
Yeah, new
games. We're dealing with this. We're in the slippery slope now.
The DLC argument makes all the sense in the world, and I don't think I don't feel as if there's a reason to argue that point at all. Remakes, though, exist on the spectrum.
Because that's the problem.
Remasters, even I understand that too. I wouldn't make an argument.
Dallas,
I wouldn't make an argument for remasters.
You're making an argument.
We're not. Yeah.
We're going to split hairs when it comes to the remakes and remasters, right? Because it's all going to come down to a matter of opinion.
How you feel? If it was
I can remake. If I can. A game could come out 2 years ago, and then that could be the greatest game of all time and get remade next year. Because we can't say what the caveat is. The hat that came out in 1999, they're never going to do that.
Last of Us.
So once you put in remakes,
but we know you
open it up to all remakes, and that's our point. Yeah. A game could come out this year and get remade in 2027, and it's eligible for Game of the Year. So we're not saying you're not wrong. We're not saying you're wrong. Our point is, once you say remakes are eligible, it's all remake, because you can't put a caveat with an asterisk that says all games made before 1999. They're not going to do that. It has to be every single one.
I mean, but you could. They just haven't.
But they won't.
Absolutely
they won't.
Well,
they won't.
Because it's about the money at the end of the day. The thing is if they didn't want to put a remake there, people have these arguments they could have put this there, they could have put that there. They still could have put it there, but they chose not to put it there. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I think for me, when we talk about like remake versus remaster versus DLC, is it the same when you have like, let's say you had the Spider-Man game that came out and then you had the second one that came out? It's still kind of the same beat, still kind of the same characters. The game mechanics were very similar. If that had been put up for Game of the Year, everything that is being said right now would include that, but it's not a DLC. It's
Entirely
not a
different
remake.
story.
It's a
That's the point I was trying to make
I
Entirely
don't
different
earlier.
think it's an
story.
That right
entirely
there.
New
different. No, it's
characters.
only entirely different. No, because Miles Morales is the same character that was in both of those games.
Miles Morales
You could have
was in the
literally
first
made
Miles
that.
two.
Morales was
People,
a different game.
Not
That was a
not
whole
as
different game.
Spider-Man.
I'm
Not as
talking about.
Spider-Man he wasn't.
Sorry, I feel like you know what I'm talking about though. I'm
No,
talking
I
about the
don't.
second one that came out with
No,
him.
no,
The
I'm
second one
confused.
that came. All right, so we had the first game with Miles Morales, right? We had the second one where Spider-Man
Miles,
and him were together.
Miles had his
yeah,
own
Which one
game.
was
Peter
there's
that?
had his
been
own
three
game.
Spider-Man games. There's been three Spider-Man games. There was Spider-Man, then 2018. There was Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then there's Spider-Man 2. There's three different
Which
games.
one? Which one were they talking about? Felt like a DLC.
Miles
Felt like,
Morales.
but was not.
Miles Morales.
Right. So
Technically was not, but also kind of falls under a similar
Because now we
category.
can make the argument for
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Like, how far do you want to take this? Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Ragnarok
Like,
is a continuation of God of War
And that's
story.
our
That's
whole
the slippery slope right there.
That's
Therein
our whole
lies the
point.
slippery slope I spoke of a minute ago.
No. Let's go with that. So if Ragnarok is a direct continuation of the story, no time has
Yes.
passed. Next step. Wouldn't it have been easier to call it DLC?
yes, but they didn't because they made a completely different game.
So with Spider-Man to Miles Morales.
That's literally my fucking point. That is my point.
No,
But
that wasn't.
the only thing. My point was the only difference is they didn't say it was a DLC, but it
Yes.
felt like a DLC. Same for the other thing. So you're arguing semantics with the name. If they
Yes.
didn't say it
No,
was a
but that
DLC,
matters.
Because
That
the
matters.
difference
Names
here-
matter. Words matter.
Yes.
The only difference is
The difference here.
One at a
I'm
time,
with you.
The
please.
difference here is
Hold
the
on,
difference
everybody stop.
between.
Everybody stop. Nope,
Wait,
nope.
y'all.
Time out. Everybody stop. I'm moderating now. Des, go ahead, please.
No, that's all I was gonna say.
No.
Okay, I'll go.
I'm clear because there's too many. I don't like everybody talking at one time, and I'm trying to clear the floor because you was making a point, and I want you to be able to make that point without being talked over.
But my point is that the only difference that we're arguing about is the fact that these have different names. One's called a DLC, one's called the sequel. But for example, when we talk about Ragnarok, or even if we were talking about The Witcher, the two DLCs that they put out for The Witcher were still two completely different games with new characters, new places to discover. Like it was completely different. The only difference is that they didn't call it another game. They didn't say this is the third Witcher or this is the fourth Witcher. They called it a DLC, but within those games, within those DLCs, contained was its own game. So my thing is what we're arguing about is what they're calling the game, not necessarily if the game is its own complete game within itself.
Go ahead, B.
Okay. So where the problem lies in, and the quick solution to all of this, can you play Miles Morales Spider-Man on its own? This is a real question. This is a real question. I'm asking for everybody.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you play Blood and Wine, The Witcher 3 on its own?
No.
No.
Can you play Shadow of the Erdtree on its own? Can I go and buy Shadow of the Erdtree without owning Elden Ring to play Shadow of the Erdtree?
No.
Therein lies the difference between this is why words matter. And the words often affect the product. By calling it a DLC, it is attached to the core game, which now makes it part of the core experience, which now, and what my whole point and why I keep saying words matter, not to be a douche, but I'm just saying it because it's true. As big as Blood and Wine is, as big as, I forgot what the other one was. There was another one that was pretty damn big.
Hearts of Stone.
There you
Hearts
go.
of Stone.
Yeah, these are big, huge. It does not matter because you cannot experience those things without owning and up and playing and booting up the core game. So the fact that these things are now being offered up as Game of the Year contenders, what happens to the game that doesn't have the namesake of winning Game of the Year from 2 years ago? that now loses its spot because of a game that's being added on to a game. Like, because if this the case, No Man's Sky should have won Game of the Year for the last like 6 years. If you ask me.
Mm, it's a little different, but I'm following.
Let him, yeah, go ahead and finish it.
But my point is that is where all of this divvies up, and that's why it's such an issue. And now the slippery slope, because it's an easy argument to say, well, then we need to go back and look at when Blood and Wine released and compare it to the games that won Game of the Year or were nominated. Now that's pushing it too far, but this is the floodgates are now open.
Go ahead, D.
I'm done.
It would take us as a group, it would take us a good 15 minutes to come up with reasonable, if we worked for the Game Awards, reasonable criteria to separate what does and does not qualify. Or what would be like, okay, so we agree on the DLC thing, right? It took no time to get there. If the Game Awards were to sit and think about, okay, how do we want to do this? Because there could, no matter what you say, if it's if you it could be a loophole either way, but we all know the differences here. We are speaking on the difference between a EP, a mixtape, and an album. It's still good. It serves the same creative purpose, but for the company, it is different. If that makes sense, like it serves a different purpose for the company, but the same purpose for the end consumer. And there is kind of where we judge. There's where we look at games that could, like expansions, which could be their own separate game, and judge where that might belong in the category. That's where we look at a remake or a remaster and judge where that might belong in the category, knowing that the Dead Space remake is pretty much a 1-to-1 remake. It's the exact same game, just much prettier. As a gamer, we know that. But also as gamers, we know that the Final Fantasy VII remake experience kind of stands on the shoulders of the original. It does not replace the original. Therefore making it a separate thing, because it goes hand in hand with it. The whole Destiny storyline is because the original existed, and you can't really feel that same effect of that narrative without having the original. There's a line there. We just pretend not to see that line for the sake of internet arguments.
I think this
Okay.
argument only comes up
I'm gonna
when
jump
we
in
talk about the
if
Game
you don't mind.
Awards.
If you don't mind,
No,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
jump in. No one is pretending not to see that line. Me and Baron, I think we're on the same side of this. Both fully understand that Final Fantasy VII, the original, and Final Fantasy VII remake are not hand in hand the same game. We are fully aware, and that is not the argument that I, neither Baron, is making. The argument and now this part I'm gonna speak for myself, because I don't want it to seem like, oh, I'm pretending not to see a line for internet argument's sake, because that's not the case.
No, it's not you. It's just the internet, literally.
I just, my thing is, we've all at some point, everyone has said the words, probably except for Hugger, because she's sitting back chilling in her onesie. We've all said slippery slope probably at least 3 times a piece already, right? And my fear is that because this is the only thing we're sort of divided on, and it's all love, right? The only thing that I fear is that the remake is a slippery slope, because of we're seeing these remakes come a lot faster than normal, right? We do have our one-offs. The Final Fantasy is a one-off. There are some games that are one-offs, but for the most part, we're getting games from PS4 era that's all of a sudden being remade. And I think that's where I'm like, man, we could let another game shine versus a game that already had its time in the sun. That's my only argument. I know for a fact the Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth are completely, I get that. In my opinion, we're going to have a slippery slope to where we're going to look up in 2029 and it's going to be The Last of Us remake versus Final Fantasy VII remake versus Elden Ring remake. And then we are going to be sitting there wondering, where's the innovation? Well, if these games keep winning Game of the Year, It's like with movies. Everyone's like, man, all the new movies are either a remake of an old movie or a sequel. Why? Because we keep going out and celebrating and buying these things. That's my whole point. And I'm gonna go down to Hugger because she hasn't had the time to talk about this point yet. Hugs, your thoughts.
I mean, I don't know why people are up in arms because, let's be honest, at the end of the day, this is the same man who couldn't let people telling the world about their games, but let Kojima have a door descend from the heavens to walk through. Like, it's a Jeff Keighley show. Whatever he wants is going to happen. We've talked about that. This is ad placement. And I'm with you. I want the creativity, the inclusivity of there are more games out there than just this handful of games. There's so much creativity out there. Games for Games highlights so much creativity that you'll never see in the Game Awards. That some of them deserve to be in there for just narrative stuff alone. I think we gotta watch it with entertainment's sake. Just like we watch the Super Bowl. Don't take it too seriously. Just enjoy yourself. Because Scott said it. They were the Baldur's Gate team, the Game of the Year team. They didn't even let them finish their speech. So this is about what Jeff wants.
Yeah.
Let's just go into it with some fun, some entertainment, be like, oh man, I'm going to judge his shoe type, for sure. I'm going to judge what he's wearing. I'm going to judge somebody's hairstyle, and I'm going to judge the crowd. I'm going to go in there and have some fun like it is an Oscar show. But do not let yourself get worked up about this because it's Jeff Keighley's definitions of what he wants. Obviously, we're looking at Erdtree here. We can't get mad about what he wants to do.
For those new to the show, this segment is the core of what this podcast is built on. And Dallas, being an OG member, it wasn't segments like this. We had an entire podcast, and after this podcast, we're like, hey, man, what y'all want to go do? Because we will argue with each other and go back and forth. But I
love it.
Yeah.
Full-on debates.
It's
full-on debates.
We were created with the basis off a debate show because I never wanted to put a panel together where we all sit here and just, with each other all day. We supposed to disagree. And whoever in the chat that said, here go Dead versus Baron again. You petty. I can't remember who it was. That means you've been rocking with the show for a little bit. Oh, it's Sly Crow. You messy. We seen,
Crow been here a
while. We seen that, Crow. We seen that. But listen, because somebody made a point in the chat that I wanna bring up because it kind of transitions us to the next part of the show, right? And it kind of goes along the line we're talking about Sony and Elden Ring, right? And if you guys haven't already, man, please hit that like button, share the stream, man. It helps us out a whole bunch, man. It really, really, really does. So, new news alert. I guess we can take it from rumor to news now. Sony is currently in the process of trying to acquire, I can't think of the name right now, and I don't have it pulled up, and I apologize, the parent company of FromSoft. Kwamado or Waka Flocka, something along those lines. That's the FromSoft parent company, right? And so there was a comment in here that said, no, that's only a Sony thing, remaking Masters, right? So if this goes through, number one, how big? Because here's the thing, when it comes to acquisitions, it takes two to tango. And typically, it's because one company is a little bit more down bad than the other. The one that's getting acquired is typically a little bit down bad. Let's think about Activision Blizzard. Do you think if all that stuff that was happening was going on with ABK, they would have sold their stuff to Microsoft? Heck no. We heard rumblings that Bethesda might have had some little bit of money issues going on. You think if they was going perfectly right in their shit, they would have sold to Microsoft? Hell no. Ninja Theory. We know Ninja Theory was a half step away from closing down. You think they wouldn't have, right? There's always two to tango, and there's a reasoning behind it. But this I don't quite get because FromSoft is once again, like I said, about to have a game, the only game ever to win the Game Awards Game of the Year twice. FromSoft, makers of Elden Ring, Bloodborne, are the best at what they do, right? So this acquisition can't be cheap because it's not just FromSoft. I mean, they're getting the parent company, so they're getting the anime, they're getting all type of stuff, right? B, I'm gonna swing over to you. Sony said, I see your Activision Blizzard, and I'm gonna go out and try to get FromSoft. How big of a move this would be for Sony if true? And are we talking a Bungie style acquisition where they say multi-plat? Or are we talking we pulling this stuff in-house? And sorry, Xbox, you'll never see an Elden Ring again.
Well, once again, going into the spirit and the core companies, Sony sells products, Microsoft sells subscriptions and services. So Sony is trying to sell things to you. They will make that bad boy exclusive. If the purchase goes through, which most likely it will, PlayStation, the FromSoft games from the future going forward, 100% PlayStation and PC. And they might not even have a good
sorry.
crossplay.
Thank you, sis. Go ahead. B.
Yeah, and they won't even have a good crossplay setup. I think it'll be issues there. But for me, I'm most worried about the anime. What you got to understand with Kadokawa, they would own like 80% of anime at this point because they already own
Crunchyroll or something like that.
They own Crunchyroll, Funimation. They own all of like a majority of English dubbed anime and absolutely ruined it. There's it's still hard to get a hold legitly of anime of certain English dubbed animes now. Like, good luck trying to watch Fooly Cooly in English without owning the Blu-ray or the DVD yourself. That's what I'm most worried about with this. That is them getting FromSoft. I'm not like it's gonna suck. I feel bad for all the people who are on. Oh yeah, I forgot they own Aniplex too.
Dang.
Jesus. Bro, no, you don't understand, guys. Like, folks, I don't think you truly understand that
That's
legal
a monopoly,
anime
ain't it?
Yes,
Almost.
the legal anime you are consuming, 90% of what you're watching is owned by Sony. Like, easy. If you don't have high dot legal, yeah, of course, you sell the 7 Seas if you want to. If you want to play One Piece, you can. But if you're trying to just log into something legitly and right, and if you want to do that, you're dealing with Sony. I have High Dive. I pay for High Dive because stick it to the man as best you can. They handle dubs great, like amazingly. They have a section for dubs. Like how do you go up and they don't do a good job of managing the anime scene. They don't do a really good job. They buy it up and bundle it together and throw it out and hope it falls into place.
They don't do a good job of managing access to their content in general.
Oh yeah, somebody remember a while ago a dev did a video of his game just releasing on PlayStation and he went into the store to search and it was like on the last page.
Yeah.
He did a whole video about it. He was like, "Look, how am I supposed to do anything?" It just see with the act, and this is it. For those who don't know, Scott is over at the Outer Haven, and all he deals with heavily is anime and JRPGs. So the man knows what he's talking about. With the acquisition, they would own pretty much the entirety of Western side of anime, with a few odds and ends and independent anime licensed ones by Disney or Netflix. I'm telling you, this is the thing that the community should be nervous about. FromSoft, they may see the dollars and still keep it multi-plat. Honestly, they may see the money from Elden Ring and be like, "Hey, Elden Ring 2, that's going everywhere." But the Dark Souls 3 remake, that's going to stay home. Like, you know what I mean? They may wheel and deal. But this anime business, yeah, I'm waiting for the day where we got to log into PlayStation Plus in order to watch some anime.
Shout out to Geek Life Mike with Tom Super Chat. He says every game nowadays that sells big is a Souls, like Lazapi, Sekiro, Black Myth. Imagine if Sony owns the actual Soul series, it will be a huge thing, and that's facts because we know
it's a console mover.
They own Bloodborne, they own the IP.
Yeah,
now they would own the studio that made that game, and they could continue. People will finally likely get that Bloodborne 2. They will get the next Elden Ring. They would have the
Stop. My heart.
premier
Yeah.
Souls studio. That would be massive.
Yeah. It'd be huge. Like, and that'd be good for them. And it would sell consoles because they would make a majority of the titles they release exclusive, 1,000%. And I'm sorry to keep ranting on this, but I'm serious,
good.
guys. Look into
It would be their Call of Duty.
It would be their Call of Duty for sure, except they would actually keep it at home. But I'm gonna tell you, this anime business, if you enjoy anime, this should be something you pay attention to, especially if you enjoy dubbed. Because for me, I got a family, I do more than one thing at a time. I need dub. Like, if I got kids running around, I can't sit there and read the screen all day. You know, I'm not against it.
Yep.
I'm not against subs, but dub makes my life so much easier where I can still enjoy this form of media that I absolutely love. And the fact that it's being bought up and packaged in a very poor manner. Like, they didn't even take out like some of the intros. Like, you'll still see Funimation randomly sometimes pop up. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird.
This is Sony. Like, they house their content in such a like convoluted way.
Yes.
Like, keeping in mind, you don't want to have, in order to watch your favorite anime, you don't want to have to get a subscription to a service just to get access to a separate service. So like get PS Plus, just to get access to Sony Pictures Core, just to get access to whatever little like pocket of the universe that they store their anime in, just to not even be able to watch it the way you want. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would go that far. I don't know if they're that ignorant to what people want to make it that convoluted. I think we
I'm being
talked about it
facetious,
when
but
we were. No, I know, I know. But I think we talked about it a little bit during our celebration, is that like Sony will probably follow suit soon with what Xbox is doing, because it literally is the way of the future. And I do understand that they want to continue to sell consoles and products and things like that, but like at some point they're going to have to realize that that's not where their money is going to be. That they're going to have to go in the same direction as Xbox if they want to keep up. Because I don't care how many consoles you're able to sell. If you have people who are willing to pay $15 a month just to play all your games from wherever they can play them on different consoles, then you're going to make more money that way than you are selling like 100,000 consoles a year. Especially when we think about, I think when we talk about this a lot, we talk about Western, like the US, the UK, and how we buy consoles and big TVs and things like that. But if you're thinking globally, it's not the same everywhere. And if you're trying to make more money, then you need to make your games more accessible. So I'm not saying that what Baron is saying is wrong. I just think if they move in that direction, that would be really stupid when you think about the long term of them wanting to keep up their revenue.
And I will say, I do believe that if they were to get pronounced Kadokawa, they would split. I don't think everything would be exclusive, in my opinion. Not to say market cap dictates how much a company will sell for, right? But Kadokawa right now, market cap is $3.76 billion, right? Sony's, by comparison, is 115.85 billion, right? This would not be a cheap acquisition. Owning Elden Ring, or just like when companies, when the rumors of CD Projekt Red was in the mix, like, man, CD Projekt Red got some of the best games in the industry. They're on top of the game right now. They wouldn't be cheap. This would not be a cheap acquisition. And I don't know, especially looking at Microsoft and what they're doing, I don't know if Sony wants to say, you know what, we're going to completely pull this Elden Ring or other Souls games from PC or from Xbox. I can see certain ones. I can see Bloodborne, of course, staying in-house. I can see maybe some new stuff staying in-house. I can see that. But it'd be very interesting on Sony's part. I totally get you where you're coming from with anime. I guess coming from a gaming perspective, a gaming side of it, I don't necessarily feel Sony would take the full exclusivity route because I think they'll want to make some of their money back. And I don't think, especially if let's say I'm right and Elden Ring wins Game of the Year again. You think they would pass up the money of Elden Ring 2 not being everywhere? That would Elden Ring 2, whatever year it drops, barring a GTA, will likely be the biggest game of that year. And that could be at a time to where we're looking at PlayStation 6, which means there's not going to be as many PlayStation 6 is in homes like a PlayStation 5, like a PlayStation 4, right? How do you counteract that? Well, you say, hey, you know what? Let's make this game multi-platform. It's already been on other platforms already. Let's make it multi-platform. Even if the sake is just, hey, we got to make sure we get an instant turn on an investment, because we know from the ugly we talked about last Saturday, these companies want a instantaneous ROI.
Return on investment.
ROI.
They
Return on investment.
they want it now, and the
Well,
best way you can do that with buying this company is to make it multi-plat.
Now, I'm going to tell you, just like I believe the biggest win, even though Call of Duty is a huge success, Blizzard is a huge success, I still think the mobile market was the biggest win with the whole Activision Blizzard thing. But
100%.
look at what they get when they get Katakawa. Look at what they produced. Oh my God. So we got Overlord. We got what's that one isekai you like, Fame? I always butcher the name, where dude goes, he's isekai to a whole nother world and he lives his life.
Jobless reincarnation.
Jobless reincarnation. Shield Hero, Bungo Stray Dogs.
I love Shield Hero too.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I mean 86. It's ridiculous. And then most of the hit movies that came out in the last like 10 years, like Belle and In Your Eye, like it's ridiculous what they're getting. Like these are animes that I still watch to go to bed to. You know how you sometimes put on that
They're
show.
gonna start making movies.
Oh,
They're gonna start making movies off all of it. That's what's gonna happen.
More movies, because they
More
own
movies.
like it's it's insane. Like all the animes I watch, like this whole list, I watch every last one of these, and they're gonna own it all. But okay, I'm shutting up.
And there's nothing we can do about it because it's a Japanese company.
Yeah, and it makes sense because you're right. Sony's a Japanese company. It makes absolute sense.
They can be a monopoly, and nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
And they are. If this goes,
That's crazy.
They are officially a monopoly.
And it's deeper than the game thing, because
did he just cut out? It sounded like he was about to go.
I think
he was about.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna rant. I was convincing myself not to.
Listen,
but yeah, I do really feel the point of what I was going to say is like I feel Baron, because that's like a deeper issue than we giving it credit for.
Listen, I'm gonna make that the last one on Sam Walter. Remember, they also bought up Draft House Theaters as well to use all these IPs. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jesus, Church and Christmas.
Listen,
it sucks, but they're smart.
Oh, it's genius.
They're smart.
Can't wait.
Does everybody forget that Sony makes movies?
No, that's what I said. They're gonna make movies.
No, not you guys.
Then
everybody else. Does it like Sony? We think of Sony as gaming, yes, but do not forget they own the James Bond IP.
Cameras.
That's one of the biggest franchises in the world. They make cameras. They used to make computers. They make phones. They make lenses.
Discmans.
Yeah, they make Walkmans in Japan.
Stop! Were you there that night? Oh, you were there that night.
I'm not going to show it. I wanted to see if you remember this before we leave. I want to see if you remember this from the Twitch party.
Oh my God! Let me find the picture before we go.
Stays at my desk. I'm not going to show it on. I'm not going to.
Me too. Mine is right here, bro. Mine is right here.
As my desk as a reminder. This might be the greatest thing I've ever gotten at a party. We got this from a Twitch party.
Ever.
And it was amazing.
The one you went to when you were at PAX East?
Oh, here we go. Hold on. I found the pictures. Hold on. This is it. Let me see. Boom. But this is the greatest one right here. This one
Where you
right
putting
here.
it?
Oh,
You sharing screen or you putting it in the meme box?
Yep, the stream seeing it.
oh, Baron.
Oh yeah. I was doing my best. I was up there. I was just trying to shake my ass.
Oh.
Oh, am I in the
Oh.
wrong chat?
Y'all
There
are
you go.
so
Nope,
Oh,
I wasn't
my.
scrolled down. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Y'all are
Fun
Oh,
night,
tall.
yeah.
bro.
God dang.
Hey, that was boy. We had a time last night, boy. Did we?
The
Fun
PAX
night,
East.
man.
That was when you guys were at PAX East. I
That was,
remember.
yeah, because that's shit. Okay, you kind of cut off. I don't know why that's cut off, but yeah, we had
Oh
fun,
man.
and this is the
Oh
greatest
boy.
thing. I'm not, the dude was walking around handing this to us, and this
And it was the greatest. Oh,
this is the greatest
Man,
thing
I was
ever, and
so
I'm covering it up
tired.
for a reason. But if I do like this, you know what it
You-
says.
if you know, and
You-
it's the best.
You know, yeah. Maybe
We
I'll
was
put it
there.
on Twitter as my
We was here.
by.
We was here.
We was there.
Hey.
The same people that was in
I was
Paris.
not there.
Yeah, the people that was in Paris,
The people
they
that
was
in
there.
Paris. Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
The people that was in
Okay, I got
Paris
you. I
was
know
They
what
was
it
here.
is. Yeah, okay.
That was the
Hey,
coolest thing.
let's
That was
go.
the coolest piece of swag
Let's
I've ever
go.
gotten at any event, hands down. It's up. I have it.
I'm
I
jealous
look
now.
at it
Now I'm
every day.
hating. Now that I
I
know what
look
it is,
at
I'm
it
hating.
every day. It's right here next to my Omega Mart pin. I
Yeah.
look at it every day. And if you guys go to Vegas, please go to Omega Mart. One of the coolest, weirdest experiences you'll ever get to experience.
But listen, we gotta get up out of here because Des needs to go to sleep. I need to
Yes.
go see where my family is. It is 7 p.m. Central Time. Do you know where your children are? Maybe.
What?
We
I
gonna get
can't
up-
stand you.
We gonna get up
Wow.
out of here,
Okay.
man. What a heck of a night. I gotta remember that we had some technical issues and I'm hosting, so I gotta end the stream. We'll be back next Wednesday. We got 1 to 2 more episodes of the year before we take a small hiatus. We will take the last 2 weeks or so, or maybe the last week and first week. We'll figure it out. But we got some episodes left. Lots of content still going out. Lots of streaming that's happening. You guys know Hugger's doing Stalker 2. Me and Baron be on Black Ops. I'll be doing a heck of a lot of First Descendants because the First Descendants got one of them dudes from Paris
Nerd.
as a character now, which is super dope.
Yeah.
Along with Marvel Rivals coming out next week. So lots of streaming company. You guys have been freaking awesome. We're going to get up out of here. With all that said, congratulations. You guys leveled up. This is the Level 1 Gaming Podcast. Dad's going to get some sleep.
Yeah, for real.